Good afternoon. My name is Renato, and for my project, I picked the famous photographer Lothar Wolleh. I picked Lothar Wolleh because of two main reasons. The first one being that I found his story quite sad and tragic, but also hopeful and cheerful by the end. The second reason is because his style of taking photographs is quite unique and different than most artists. Unlike most artists, he uses a square format for his images, which I found to be cool and unique. Lothar Wolleh was born in Wedding, Berlin on January 20th, 1930. He had a very troubled childhood as he was born into World War II. He studied concrete painting in elementary school. Unlike most children, he did not have a good youth, as since he was born into war, he would have to fight in it at an early age. He fought in many battles, including the final Battle of Berlin. After the war, his struggles with the military didn't end there, as his life took a turn for the worst. The Russian USSR believed he was a spy and made him serve 15 years in prison for something he didn't do. While in prison, they tortured and made him work for hours and hours every day in a mine. With that, he was eventually released because one man by the name of Konrad Adenauer negotiated with the Russians to release them. When he eventually left prison, he still had many scars of everything he had went through in his youth. Because of those scars, he had a bad case of PTSD and had to go to therapy to treat it. But not all things were bad for him in his adulthood. He fell in love and married his wife Karen and had one son and one daughter. Their names were Oliver and Anushka. One huge influence for him was Gotland, Sweden. It was a big influence for him as while in therapy, he visited the city and he fell in love with everything about it, its culture. Many life circumstances probably influenced his photographs. His time in war and in prison most likely impacted his style and techniques as well. It could have also influenced his messages of his portraits and pictures, as many of the people look very serious or sad in his portraits. His style or genre of picture is commercial and portraits, but he is most known for his amazing portraits. Many people on the topic of his artwork believe he is a master of it. They like how he uses unique square style for his portraits, and how his portraits make the subject look bigger than they actually appear. Photographers to this day are experimenting with his techniques. He himself thought that every picture was taken with great care and detail. I myself think that his artworks are incredibly beautiful and detailed. This is one of Lothar Wolleh's portraits. The person is a famous painter, Lucio Fontana. Lothar Wolleh clearly knows his stuff with texture in this picture. The picture shows off many different contrasting textures such as the metal table or the wall in the background. This shows he knows how a picture should look and feel. Another thing he is good at is emphasis. The way he uses emphasis to draw the viewer's attention to all the details of Lucio Fontana is amazing. He captures all of the wrinkles and hairs to the mustache of Lucio Fontana with great detail. Finally, the use of contrast is outstanding. The way he uses the perfect amount of light to hit Lucio Fontana to capture him is truly awesome. This is a photograph of Henry Moore. He was a famous sculptor that used bronze in all his sculptures. This picture was sadly the last picture that Lothar Wolleh ever took. Sadly, right after he took this picture, he passed away of an asthma attack, which killed him. This is my favorite of all his pictures, as it really shows off his skills. First, he shows us how he uses light contrast to perfectly show the right amount so Henry Moore has a huge shadow and lights the room. Secondly, he shows pattern and repetition as the two windows are in pattern. Finally, he shows off how he works with medium shots to show us how far and how not far away Henry Moore is from the wall. This was the importance and his techniques of this photograph.